everybody, and welcome to this week's Christmas episode of Mates, Movies and Mulled Wine. I'm your host Jordan, and joined with me as always are my two very best friends in the whole wide world, Peter and
Hello.
Stefan.
Hello.
How are we, fellas? Merry Christmas.
Good. Merry Christmas, man. Merry Christmas. I can't believe it's here.
I can't believe this has been a quick year. And this will be coming out to you on Christmas Eve with any luck. We can get things up and running.
That's the plan.
We hope you're all having a great time. You're back with us once again. We are going to talk all things Christmas this week. So to set the stage, we are going to be looking at our top 5 Christmas movies, our top 5 TV Christmas shows or episodes, our non-traditional go-to Christmas movies and TV shows, and then we've got a wee bonus question at the end as well.
Like it.
But how are we, boys? How's things going?
I'm good, man. I'm excited for tomorrow. I think we should do like Graham Norton and pretend that it's actually Christmas Eve.
And it's not even Halloween yet?
Aye, it's definitely not the 14th of October or whatever it is. But no, man, I'm like, as soon as I start talking about Christmas, I get excited about it. It's my favourite time of the year.
Yes.
We've not long recorded the Halloween episode, and that was obviously I had lots of things that I love about those types of movies, but it's not my favourite genre.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas, man, I'm all about it.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Well, very much looking forward to it. This topic specifically, had a lot of fun researching, trying to decide on the top 5. A few things just narrowly missed out, but yeah, quite happy with
I must
what
say,
I've ended up with.
I like your jumper, mate. It's really cool.
Thanks for letting me borrow it.
This is the thing though, you don't wear your Christmas jumper all year round, and then every time you put it on and you're like, oh, that must have shrunk. It's just I've put on a year wait again.
Well, that was the horrifying
A year wait
moment.
Apparently I can't speak either. A year wait again. I know.
No.
I've had one sip of Samuel Joe's.
Zero alcohol. Sammy Joe.
So shall we start?
Yeah,
Let's
let's
get
get
chat about all things Christmas movies.
Kicked off.
Absolutely.
See, before we do it, Jordan, why did you start the pod? Let's do it.
We're going to kick off with our top 5 Christmas movies. We tried something in the Halloween episode where we would come up with our mates, movies and malts top 5, but we only come up with 4 and we're letting you guys come up with the 5th one, so we think that's quite a good way to go, so we're going to do the same again. So
I'll go first, and I'm going to go with the one that I'm fairly certain is probably going to be on everybody's. Right, so Elf. I've got
Okay.
Everybody got it?
on your jumper? It's actually number 1 on my list. I think
Oh,
Elf
right,
is
nice.
the ultimate Christmas feel-good movie.
It's
Right.
amazing. I love Will Ferrell, and
As well
there's
do.
something about that movie in particular that no matter how many times I watch it, and I watch this every Christmas more than once, I never ever get sick of it. The jokes never stop being funny, physical comedy, everything about it's fantastic. James Caan is the perfect straight man for that movie. Just the fact that I don't think he laughs once
Yeah.
in the entire movie, and I just think he works.
I think it made it even better the fact that Will Ferrell stayed in character all the way through it just to piss him off. And he fucking hated it. He hated it.
Because it
By the
reminded
end,
me
he loved it by the end.
It reminded me of Tommy Lee Jones with Jim Carrey.
Aye.
Batman Forever.
Aye.
I totally agree, man. It's a great film.
So the first one at the top of my list is Scream 1. That itself as well, it is just childhood wonderment. It's such an innocent Christmas film, and no matter what age you are, like, everybody can watch it. There's a
So
bit of fun for
inoffensive.
everybody.
I think there's a very, very strong argument to be said. As much as we're obviously all big Anchorman fans, right? And Step Brothers love it. Lots of Will Ferrell stuff we're big fans of,
Yep.
right? We've watched them all together. I think there's a very strong argument to be said that Elf is genuinely Will Ferrell's best movie. Not just because it's up there with the funniest, but in terms of the narrative, in terms of everything, the payoff at the end, like as you talk about James Caan playing the straight man, and then it really hits when he starts singing at the end. It's a pretty perfect Christmas film.
So I'll kick off the next one then. So on my list is Scrooged, Bill Murray, the retelling
great
of
choice.
Christmas Carol. I think it's a great film. It's probably not one for the younger kids. It can be
Amazing film.
quite scary at times, but it's a great film. I just fucking love Bill Murray. Like, no matter what he's in, he's
Agreed.
always amazing.
It makes a lot of sense for you that that's made in because it's got horror elements.
It's on mine as well.
Is it?
Scrooged is an absolute all-timer for me.
It's
uh,
a great film.
Not least, what's her name, Carol Kane, that she was in. Whatever, in the crazy one with the mental hair.
She was
And
the fairy.
Aye,
Yeah.
I just think she's hilarious
She's
from start to
amazing,
finish,
isn't it? they two play such a juxtaposition to each other as well.
Aye.
When they come to meet each other and stuff as well, it's
So good,
it's,
man.
it's a fucking great film. I love Scrooge. That's the kind of go to.
It's been too long since I've seen it. I'm
Oh,
gonna
you need to watch
again.
it.
Oh, you should
I'll watch it this year now.
When we get together for dinner tomorrow, we'll all watch it together.
Okay.
we spend all the holidays together.
Yeah.
Watching Elf.
Pedro, what's on yours?
Well, Scrooge and Elf were both on mine.
So we're
this
straight
may
into
be
number
quite a short episode, this one, guys.
Feels like it.
Let's go with what is genuinely my favourite Christmas movie of all time is Home Alone.
First one?
Yes. I love the second one as well.
Yeah.
I love it. Home Alone's a genius movie. From start to finish. The music, the fact how they managed to convince John Williams to do the music for that. Oh, it's a wee Christmas movie. We've got a wee guy that's going to be in the house on his own. His family fucked off to Paris, and you're going to write the absolute monstrosity of a score. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely amazing.
Again, it's made it onto my list as well. It's such a good film.
It's genius, man. It's
a
the
wee
first
guy
one we put on.
fucking commit an attempted murder.
I know.
It's horror. It's up my street as well.
Have you ever seen I think it was the Mythbusters that recreated
With the paint cans.
the paint cans and everything, and they done the heating up the door handle and all of that. But it doesn't matter how many times I've seen all of that. We watch it every year without fail. That's usually what we put on and put the tree up because it's the first film. It makes me feel so Christmassy, and I think that's. I mean, we've not really touched on it, but that's maybe quite an important thing to talk about. What is it that makes a Christmas film work for you? Because you could argue that some of these you
Child
could watch all year round.
abandonment.
Exactly, absent fathers. But what is it like? Because that for me, that's the big thing. Is just how Christmassy does it make me feel, and that's why I like watching them at that time of year.
So as soon as we put the Christmas tree up, it's Home Alone, and then
Yeah.
we're not finished by that point. So Home Alone 2 then goes on straight after.
The same as us.
It's the routine.
Same as us.
Feels like a pretty natural segue to let you know that Home Alone 2 made it onto my list.
Home Alone 2 and not Home Alone 1, or have you got
Yes, I prefer Home Alone 2.
I was in a bit of a debate because I do prefer Home Alone 2,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of people would give shit for not picking Home Alone 1.
No, I feel like it. But
I just think Marv and Harry are better in 2 than in 1.
I think they're great in both. I do agree. I think they're slightly better in the second one.
Smells like fish.
The thing that Home Alone 2 has that the first one didn't is it's all the other characters
Piers
that get
Morgan.
brought in. What?
Piers Morgan.
I was going to say Tim Curry.
Just the pigeon lady looks like Piers Morgan. That was the joke.
Oh, right, I
Fucking
didn't
hell.
pick up on that, mate.
You never
I'm so
seen
sorry.
noticed that before?
Nah,
I've never noticed that.
I'll probably never be able to not notice it now.
Thanks for ruining Home Alone 2. One of my favourite moments from that film is Tim Curry getting slapped
Yeah.
by the mum.
See, the bit I love in it as well. See when it's the Grinch and then it fades to Tim Curry.
Yeah,
that's genius. That man should have played
Fucking
that.
amazing.
What I would say is that the thing that really made the films work was obviously how funny they were, and the whole setup and everything in his uncle's house does not land anywhere near as much as the original Home Alone. Not least to say because it is a retread.
Yeah.
I think that everything that you've highlighted is what makes it feel different enough to be able to watch them back to back and feel like they're different films. The big thing that I think it does have over it is see the emotional beat at the end. I think is 10 times more powerful than Home Alone 2 because obviously when his mum gets back and they meet in front of the big tree at Rockefeller, thank you, and they meet there and the music's obviously stunning again, and then with the pigeon lady when he goes down and he gives her the turtle dove. Oh man, it's like Wonderful Life again. I'm just greeting my eyes out every time. Whereas with the guy with the shovel, Shovelly Joe, it's
not as good a payoff.
No, it's nice with the wee granddaughter bit, but the pigeon lady, basically the homeless lady that lives in the park, and then he's ran up £6,000 on his dad's credit card and he's gave her a fucking plastic turtle dove.
Do you know a wee interesting tidbit about the first Home Alone? So
I'd love to hear this.
Buzz, your girlfriend, Woof, it's not actually a girl, it's a wee boy in a wig.
Do you know who the wee boy is?
It's, isn't it somebody's son?
Aye, it's, what's his name, John Hughes' son I think?
John Hughes'
Just
son.
directed it, aye.
Because he didn't want a wee girl's feelings to be hurt. So they put his son in a wig. I thought that was really cool.
Also, I'm pretty sure Macaulay Culkin improvised Woof.
Aye.
I thought like he just came out with that. Home Alone 1, more people would say that's the slightly better film, but it's a list.
Yeah.
I'm happy with Home Alone 2
Uncle
if you
Frank's
do
just
that.
a tight-fisted bastard.
Oh, he's a prick, man.
He's an absolute stain.
Mhm.
Hate it. Hate
A Frankenstein.
So Elf, Scrooged, Home Alone and Home Alone 2 are all out already.
Yeah.
So that they're all off the list. We're only on to fucking two, only a second one each.
We're potentially going to need a couple of wild cards because there are going to be some other stuff that we need to consider for this final list. We can't just make it that easy.
Luckily, we have an extra category that's coming in. So
You invented categories for this week. In that categories you've never seen.
Why we said that we might do that thing that one time.
I spent 4 hours researching it. Just we're talking about wild cards. A big one for a lot of people will be It's a Wonderful Life. Aye, that's the most depressing
I'm
film.
starting to think you've got my list on your screen.
That's such a
Have you
fix.
picked
You got that?
Have you picked this one?
Aye, but honest to God, I don't understand how anybody could ever not think that is just. It's a wonderful movie, is what it is.
I'm Jordan Depreston, but that is the most depressing Christmas film ever.
Oh, it's not, man.
Mate, it starts off with a fucking attempted suicide.
Oh, of course it does.
Sets the tone for the. So does
What
every
sort of
Christmas.
Christmas do you have?
Jesus.
But no, like the fact is that it's the same as any other film. It's as if they're able to bring it back, and what George Bailey goes through, the way he tells his life story and everything like that, it just makes the payoff at the end so much better. Like, and for a film that's now 80 years old or something, like, it is absolutely stood the test of time. I think it's a masterpiece of cinema, and it makes me cry every single time, but happy.
I can't believe you didn't put this on your list.
It is on the list. It's just you.
Question for you. Do you prefer the original black and white version or the remastered in colour version?
Original black and white every time. Do you know? I think it's just the nostalgia effect of it. Like, it just feels weird watching it in colour. Like, because I grew up watching it with my mum and stuff like that, and it's just like, again, how Christmas is something makes you feel. The score in it is amazing. Like, yes, there are obviously really, really sad elements to It's a Wonderful Life, but the happy far outweighs the sad for me.
How long do you get to enjoy the really happy bit at the end when it's all good?
So,
is it like 5 or 10 minutes?
If I watch it on Christmas Eve, then by next Christmas Eve it's just about worn off. And then I'll watch it again.
A year's worth of joy?
A year's worth of absolute joy.
Okay,
Exactly.
fair enough.
No, it's brilliant. It's funny in places. It's amazingly well acted. The music's unbelievable in it, and I just think it's an astonishing film. I really do. I absolutely adore it.
So, one that might be on yours, Jingle All the Way.
Oh.
Nearly put it in.
Nearly.
Fucking love Jingle All the Way.
Listen, it's good fun, Jingle All the Way.
Yeah,
I think
it's a great laugh.
if you're talking about greatest 5 of all time, there's definitely more than 5 Christmas films better than Jingle All the Way.
See,
So
that
it's
is
fine, but it's my 5.
I agree.
See, I'm going to see if Jingle All the Way was on against maybe one other ones that was on the list. I'd maybe stick with Jingle All the Way. My next one that's not on the list will be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That's a great shout as well.
Griswold's
Didn't
classic,
think of that one.
absolute chaos and carnage everywhere they go, no matter what the script is. My favourite bit is just at the end when he finally loses his shit and he snaps because he's trying to be such a nice guy, and it's the whole nice guys finish last type thing.
Yeah.
And then literally right at the very end he just fucking snaps and he gets off his nut and he starts screaming at everybody. And it's a great
It's
film.
genius. The rant as well is top tier rant of all time in the cinema. Like, it's
I
so
love it
funny.
as well, seeing they're going to carve a dinner and he cuts into turkey and it just on the floor. It's just a fucking husk of a turkey.
I always loved when they brought the tree in, and it's the size of the Rockefeller tree.
And it's still got Ings living in it.
Aye, it's a good film, man. That's Kirsten's favourite Christmas movie.
Is it?
Aye, so that would be top of her list.
Nice, we can watch that together tomorrow then.
Aye. I had on the one line that, like, so when you mentioned in Scrooge, that I was torn between that and Bad Santa. I love Bad Santa, man. I think it's so funny, so different, so good.
I maybe
I
start putting it in my
saw it
Christmas
once and
rotation.
didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like Bad Santa.
Do you like Billy Bob Thornton?
No,
Oh, do you not?
I don't like it. So I'll go with Klaus, the Netflix animated one,
I've not
with
watched that.
J.K. Simmons and Jason Schwartzman, I want to say.
Is that what the K stands for?
What?
And J.K.
Claus.
Simmons, Klaus?
Cinnamons? J.K. Cinnamons? Fucking hell.
For an animated one, it's not as silly. It's got some funny moments, but it's mostly just really wholesome. It's got it's grounded in, what is it, grounded in reality. It's an animated thing.
And it's in the Santa.
Well, that's it.
Sorry, kids.
It's about a guy called Klaus, and he does make toys for anyone that asks for one.
Yeah.
But the whole plot of the story is him doing that for that small village, and then it slowly becomes magical.
So I've not seen this one. I was getting confused with Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn.
No,
I was getting the two mixed up.
Right,
There.
okay.
Apologies,
No,
I've not seen Klaus.
Klaus is a fantastic film. You should try and watch it. Because the ending of that, I cry.
So it's on Disney?
Netflix.
Netflix, right? Okay.
It's a Netflix original. Again, J.K. Simmons is really good. Simmons is really good.
J.K.
Simmons,
That has got to be his name for now on.
Of course it is.
100%.
Heard it here first. Last one for me is the animated Dr. Seuss's The Grinch with Benadryl Cabbage Patch doing the voice of the Grinch.
Okay.
Mainly because the Wayne absolutely fell in love with it last year. We were literally watching it every week from Christmas up until only a few weeks ago when Netflix removed it, and I've now bought her the DVD in a Christmas Eve box this year. She loves it, she loves the wee dog in it, and she just gets absolutely buzzing and so excited as soon as it comes on, so that made its way into my top 5 just for that reason.
Nice, hard to argue with that.
It's not as menacing, not as terrifying for kids.
No. I mean, I love Jim Carrey's Grinch.
He was brilliant.
I've never watched the animated one, but I've heard nothing but good stuff about it.
It was directed by Scott Mosier, who does podcasts with Kevin Smith. We spoke about it in a previous feature episode.
We have, a previous feature, yeah. The last one for me, and I mean, there's a serious level of nostalgia to this for me. It's the 1994 version of Miracle on 34th Street with Richard Attenborough playing Kris Kringle. What was the girl name from Mrs. Doubtfire and Matilda? Mara Wilson, is it?
I forget.
She was in Thomas the Tank as well.
Aye, she was an amazing wee actress. Miracle on 34th Street for me, great film all the way through, right? Yeah. But there's one bit in particular, and I don't even know if this is 100% true, right? But I remember reading it years and years, I mean decades ago, and I've always known it to be true since then, and I'm frightened to Google it in case it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? But you know the scene where he's obviously, so Kris Kringle's working in the shop and he's the real Santa, and he's being the store Santa in the big department store, and he's got all the kids all lining up and they're all getting excited, and obviously the little girl was the little cynic that doesn't believe in stuff, and then a lady brings in her daughter, and her daughter sits on Santa's knee, and she's deaf, right? And her mum's like, listen, she just wanted to see. I'm getting choked up thinking about this, right? She just wanted to speak to you and see you and stuff like that. And then he speaks to her in sign language, right? The rumour or the thing that I read is that little girl was just taken to see Santa, and she is deaf and she didn't know that was going to happen. So reaction in the film's real. And honestly, I love it, man.
Really, I also would not want to Google
I don't want to.
That's a core
I don't want to Google it. Do you know what I mean? Neither of you should. Please don't ruin it for me in the comments if anybody's watching. But even if it's not, it's a brilliant scene.
That's a great scene.
It perfectly encapsulates what Santa means to children. What Santa would be able to do that. 100% Santa would be able to do that.
Communicate with anybody.
And it was just such a beautiful little attention to detail. The wee girl's face just lights up, and that's the bit where the main character, the penny, really starts to drop for her. Yeah. It's just a flawless scene in a decent movie.
For
that alone, that's in my top 5.
Great choice.
I was very passionate.
Cheers guys.
I feel as if that's going to be your gimme for the top 4.
Maybe. We'll see.
But it just, we've got a lot of ones that we agreed on.
No, it just means a lot to me because that's how I felt when I was a wee deaf girl.
My last one was Jack Frost.
See if it's the Three Musketeers, I'm quitting.
I would prefer it to be the Three Musketeers than Michael Keaton's Jack Frost.
You like Jack Frost?
Oh no.
That was a great film.
Robert Bradley was that?
No.
That almost destroyed his career. It was that bad. Like that's well seen, well documented as the bit that Michael Keaton had to dig his way back from to start getting back into Oscars fodder and stuff like that.
Was he a jazz blues musician or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, something
like that. By I'm just all my words already. Kind of Shovelly Joe.
J.K. Cinnamons.
The whole film is, he's a musician trying to make it. He gets potentially his big break, but it means he's going to miss Christmas with the family. Goes to drive back just a little bit earlier so he can be there for Christmas morning, crashes, dies, is reanimated the following Christmas.
God, this could be a horror.
As a snowman. And then, just
main character dies and is reanimated in the first 10 seconds. That does not sound like a wholesome character.
And his best pal's definitely trying to keep his wife for a full year.
No.
Aye. Okay, so the top 5 then, so we've got Elf, Home Alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're automatically in.
Well, we see Home Alone 1 and 2 interchangeable.
It's the same movie.
But the rest of them aren't allowed anywhere near it.
Fair.
Home Sweet Home Alone and whatever else.
National
Lampoons. against Jingle All the Way.
Okay, because if you want to just pick between Miracle and Wonderful Life.
But the other thing is that we both had Scrooged on our list.
No, Scrooge has to go in then, surely.
Right, so we only got one then.
So we only get one.
Well, no, because we did all three, so it doesn't have to go in.
You never had Scrooge, but the three has had Elf and the three has had Home Alone.
Yeah, but I nearly had Scrooged, and then I just thought, nah, I need to pick Jack Frost.
I think Scrooge's got to go in then. If you were close to picking it and we both
No,
right, okay, so that's
so then it's between
National Lampoons,
Jingle All the Way, Wonderful Life and Miracle. Wonderful Life's a better film. Like it is a far better film than It's a Wonderful Life. It's not better than itself. Better than Miracle on 34th Street. So I'll happily rule that out and say It's a Wonderful Life.
So Elf, Scrooged, Home Alone, National Lampoons.
Yep.
And you guys have got the final say. You can also feel free to throw a cheeky wee one in that we didn't actually mention.
The funny thing is that
people who vote for it.
all four are proper out and out comedy Christmas movies.
That's our films for the more assorted.
Right, exactly.
And our presents watching them.
That's a good fun.
So the next topic we're going to talk about is our non-traditional go-to Christmas movies or TV shows.
Cool.
So something that's not traditionally Christmas, but something you watch regularly every Christmas or around about Christmas time.
Yeah.
So I'll kick it off. We always watch Harry Potter at Christmas, and I don't know why, because they are not Christmas films. Although there is a very small segment in it of Christmas time, they are not Christmas movies, but there's something about them that just feel very Christmassy and very wholesome.
That made my almost Christmas list as well. The first one, the whole bit about Harry getting the present for the first time, like that's, even though it's just a scene in the film, that scene makes you feel Christmassy. And also remember all the Harry Potter movies released year on year at Christmas time.
Yeah.
So
Maybe that's what it is.
You've just associated it with it.
Associate Christmas with specky wee dick.
Exactly. Another part of it, and I noticed this a long time ago and pointed out to Kirsten, who you guys know, if there's anybody that doesn't know us watching this, my wife's a musician. The score for Home Alone and the Harry Potter,
the Hedwig's theme.
Yeah, it's so similar. Right, so not the main but the actual bit in there is so similar, and it just feels so Christmassy again because it's buried in there from Home Alone.
And Batman Returns.
Got it as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not particularly Christmassy, but set at Christmas. So there's snow, there's trees, the big, like you said, things like that. The thing that I really like about it is Danny Elfman, who does the score for it. Also did the score for Nightmare Before Christmas, and he sampled little sections of it and included it in the score for Batman Returns because it was going to be set at Christmas time, and you can hear it if you like both those films.
Well, both Tim Burton as well.
Yeah, it's an amazing film, and also it's set at Christmas time. So while not a Christmas movie by any stretch, it's a great film to watch at Christmas time.
Let's go with Trading Places.
Oh.
One of my favourite films of all time.
Fucking brilliant film.
Yeah. And again, it is actually not only set at Christmas, but it does have some real strong Christmas themes. Not a Christmas movie because Christmas isn't the main central point, but it's very, very set at Christmas. There's loads of set pieces around about it. Like, love it. Genius film from the minute it starts rolling.
Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis, who from the Halloween episode, you know what, she's my favourite actress ever. Yeah. Or one of.
A lot of pausing in that film for you.
Oh, it was an awakening.
As a young kid. Gavin and Stacey, again, I don't know why, there's just something about it. We always watch Gavin and Stacey at Christmas.
I thought this was exclusively movies, this bit.
No, it's movies and TV shows.
I've not included any TV shows in this.
I've not included any TV shows.
Well, it's just whatever you
I love it, mate. Gavin's so Christmassy. So Christmassy.
There is Christmas specials and stuff like that. This may make a return at a later segment of the show, but just start to finish, not just the Christmas episodes, but the actual all the episodes, all the seasons back to back. We always watch it at Christmas time.
Love it.
And again, I've no fucking idea why. It's just something ingrained in the brain.
Love that.
Right, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Got it.
Yeah, fantastic film. Again, not a Christmas movie, but set at Christmas. Lots of Christmas stuff going on. There's like
lots of Christmas music. 2
Christmas parties. There's Christmas music played. People dressed up and Christmassy stuff, and also just a fantastic film. I don't think it got a lot of love at the time, but I think it does now when people realise that was kind of the role that got Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because he is just so good in it. Val Kilmer's amazing in it as well.
For me, it's Val Kilmer's best ever.
Yeah, I mean that Tombstone.
Aye.
I thought Val Kilmer was amazing in Heat.
He was amazing in Heat. I think the problem in Heat is, it didn't even come into my head to think of that, because in Heat you're just being absolutely outmatched by the goals. But he is brilliant in Heat. He's a wildly underrated actor.
I think
even his Batman gets a lot more heat than it deserves.
Was it the Saint?
Oh,
The Saint
great film as well.
I still think his best performance though is in Tombstone. That is.
He's amazing in Tombstone.
Fantastic.
Doc Holliday.
Yeah, it's Doc
He is amazing in that.
Absolutely incredible.
I forgot about Tombstone, so I'd probably say that's his best. But Kiss Kiss Bang Bang really surprised me, because I'd never really seen him or thought he could do comedy. And he's hilarious in it.
I also think at that time he had this weird reputation as being quite a lazy actor and picking easy roles, just picking up like paychecks and things like that. And then he came out with that one, and he was incredible.
Fair enough.
And in a similar vein, in actual fact, just to kind of wipe a couple out of my list, more or less anything Shane Black. So obviously Shane Black made Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It's a theme that he's always done. So he wrote Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon will no doubt, if we're going to talk about another certain film in a little bit, falls into that criteria. Yes, well, that's on the list as well.
No.
But
I wasn't going to touch the other one.
Nah,
because we've done a future previous episode, which
I don't know if that's ever going to get released, is
it?
It?
So I think we just hold on to it.
Fair enough.
Because I think if we've got people watching, I think they will mention that film that we're not mentioning.
Probably.
And it's Christmas Eve.
I
don't want us to
fall. I don't think we should mention it either, because it's not a Christmas movie.
Oh shit.
But no, Lethal Weapon, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Iron Man 3.
Don't take a bit.
And more or less anything else he's done has always had a pretty strong link to Christmas. The other thing about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and I can't remember if Shane Black was involved in this film, but I always feel like a film that you love in particular is pretty heavily inspired by it. If you could think of the sort of film that I'm thinking of.
Nah, you've lost me. Can you help me? I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. You just keep saying it.
It's definitely not that. No, The Nice Guys.
Oh yeah.
I love The Nice Guys, but I know that you absolutely love it. And I always felt like they very much operate in the same space.
Yeah.
Nice Guys and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, but I can't remember if Shane Black had anything to do with The Nice Guys.
I'm pretty sure it's his.
I couldn't remember.
I'm fairly certain he at least wrote it.
Right.
Maybe he didn't direct it. I feel like he did though.
I couldn't
I'm
remember.
pretty sure that's one
Was
of
that his
his.
first one after Iron Man 3 maybe?
Possibly. I mean, you know years that movies came out better than me, but that feels
Giant
like
freak.
the timeline would.
Merry Christmas to you too.
No, that feels like it would run immediately afterwards.
Nice Guys
was great. I was just gutted.
Nice Guys
sequel.
is such a good film, man.
I think it still will.
You reckon one day?
I think it still will.
This one, In Bruges.
I'll give you
I
Bruges.
really like that one.
Love the film.
Yeah, it's a fantastic film.
It's a fairy tale fucking city.
Yes, and I don't know if maybe that's what does it, but yeah, for some weird reason, always kind of linked it.
It's brilliant.
Because Belgium's quite similar to France. That's why.
Same beers.
Damn it. I don't know what happened.
I love In Bruges because it fostered one of my favourite lines for any film ever is when Ralph Fiennes is on the phone and he's fucking screaming and his wife, he's smashing the phone up to bits and she says to him, it's an inanimate object, and he turns around and goes, you're a fucking inanimate object. I just think that's hilarious.
The thing I love about that,
absolutely nothing, but it means everything at the same time.
The thing I love about that is he actually gets the line wrong, but it's so well delivered that they kept it in it, because you see the way he trips over it and stuff like that, it makes it feel more human.
It does.
It
feels like he's so angry he can't get the words out properly.
It's
so good.
There's the whole alcoves bit and all that as well.
I also love when Brendan Gleeson's just saying to Harry, and I mean this is about to get very sweary, folks, but you're nothing but a cunt, Harry. All you're going to do is you'll always be a cunt. You're a couple more cunt kids. That is so harsh, but it's bang on.
I love all the bit before that as well, where he tells him like he loves him, and he's got the gun on him and stuff like that. He's like, I can't shoot you now, you said all that.
Colin Farrell was amazing in that film.
It's the thing that made me really start following him.
He's ever. I think just let him be himself. I think that's it.
Yeah.
And then that fed into like Seven Psychos as well. Again,
great film.
Another amazing cast. It was written by the brother of the.
Well, because
who wrote In Bruges, I believe.
No.
Was it the same one? Because one of them wrote In Bruges and one of them wrote The Guard.
The Guard was the brother.
It was Brendan Gleeson.
That's so good as well. Don Cheadle. So good, man.
Great film, man.
Have you seen that, The Guard?
Not yet.
Oh, so funny.
I remember seeing the trailers for it and thinking, I really need to make the time to watch that, and then somehow just fell off my radar.
So was the guy who done In Bruges the same one who done Seven Cycles?
So he done In Bruges, he done Seven Cycles, and then it's Martin McDonagh and is it Joe McDonagh? But Martin or Michael. But anyway, so Martin McDonagh done In Bruges and then done Seven Cycles was his second film. The Guard was his brother, and then Martin McDonagh's done something else since then that totally escaped me just now, but everything he's done I've absolutely loved, and then obviously because In Bruges was so good and was actually very low budget and stuff, they then managed to get Sam Rockwell and Christopher Walken and everything like that into it, and then very kindly the pod mother who has been, I mean, you're trying so hard, aren't you, not speak, you can say things every now and then.
Killing her.
The Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh yes.
Was Michael was on a marvelous one.
Brendan Gleeson, Colin Farrell again.
Funny man, so funny.
Best film about Fallout ever.
It's just it's a film about nothing. Yeah. But it's amazing, and again, you don't want to get into spoiler territory, but even regularly now throughout their films, they have made me really start to like acting. I didn't like Colin Farrell, I loved him after In Bruges, right? And that I wasn't that keen on Barry Keoghan or Cohen, however you say it.
Keegan.
Barry Keoghan, there you go. And then I watched that, and he's amazing.
Yeah, he's really good on that.
Brilliant.
Also, see, just for a wee bit of admin, you keep saying Seven Cycles. I know you just
Seven Psychopaths.
It's Seven Psychopaths. I just need to say that.
One of which you are.
Nah, I was kind of fucking aneurysm or something. Nobody fixed it. Sorry.
They must have done something to your brain when I was calling J.K. Simmons J.K. Cinnamon.
I would, and if you go back and watch, I never once joined in.
Nah.
It's just annoying the shit out of me.
Right, Stefan is the number one psychopath.
Any others?
Love that. I've got a wee couple. One that, one that we're obviously not talking about, and then one it makes me feel very Christmassy. It's not a Christmas movie, but it's a Thanksgiving movie, but it feels very Christmassy. It's Planes, Trains and Automobiles. So wholesome. Family, try to go home to his family for the holidays. It's an absolute classic, and John Candy's absolute best moment in cinema. That speech at the end when he's talking about how much he likes him. I like me, like a genius film from start to finish, absolutely. And that makes me feel mega Christmassy. So that was the end of my set at Christmas or kind of things to watch at Christmas.
Your non-traditional Christmas list.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, how many films did you have on that list?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Cool. Instructions definitely said 2 or 3, which is why I picked 3.
Also, you can read the instructions.
I can read the instructions.
So just choose to put your own
stuff. Apparently if I go off it slightly.
A minute ago he's correcting us on 7 Psychos versus 7 Psychopaths, and now I'm getting grief for including the extras.
He's corrected you if I'm not following the rules. So he's been consistent.
Well, true. But
the spine on this French guy.
I know. Anyway,
I've had too much to drink, clearly.
I thought it said 2 times 3. So I went for 7.
We'll come on to the next topic, and it's your top 5 Christmas TV show episodes.
Right, okay. My first one I wrote down, Woodland Critter Christmas.
Family Guy?
You're in the right.
The Animals of Farthing Wood.
American Dad?
No.
Clayton Show?
Give me the name of it again.
Futurama?
Woodland Critter Christmas. It's South Park.
Oh, right.
Is that what the episode's called?
That's what the episode's called.
Right, okay.
The episode's called Woodland Critter Christmas, and it's Cartman telling a Christmas story as part of. Have none of you seen this?
I don't watch
South Park.
So I've not watched South Park since I was in primary 7.
This is a really old episode.
It peaked at the movie for me, and that was like
The
1999.
only Christmas episode I know is Mr. Hankey. That's the only Christmas episode I know.
That's a funny one as well, but this one is particularly funny just because it's Cartman telling a story, like this fantastical story, and Stan's the main character, and it's about him. He killed a mountain lion, but it was like stopping the Antichrist from being born, and he's helped all the woodland critters are Satanists with like magical powers. It's total nonsense. And as he's telling it, it's obviously it's Cartman telling it, so the whole thing's just a rip on Kyle, and because he's telling the story, it keeps coming back to present day as he's telling the story. Present day as if it's in the past. No, present at the time.
To be fair, the timeline, the way things work on this pod.
We're the last people
past, future, episode that we've not done yet that we're about to yesterday do.
Back to the Near Future.
But he keeps Kel keeps interrupting and giving him shit. It's try and watch it. It is really, really funny. As far as South Park episodes go, it's one of the best ones I've ever done.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever watched the World of Warcraft special that they did.
I've seen bits through TikTok and stuff like that as well, dude.
I think that's, if like top 5 South Park episodes, this is in it.
So if anybody wants to tune in to Stefan's top 5 South Park episodes, you can find them on TikTok at Mates, Movies and Mulls.
Fucking start my own podcast at this rate.
Playing himself again.
Check back if you don't. Hey Pedro, you want to kick off with your first one then?
So the episode is called Twice Upon a Time. And I know that neither of you have seen it.
Ah, okay. Then I'm not going to guess.
Nah. Doctor Who. Doctor Who's done multiple Christmas episodes since it came back in 2005. And then when Peter Capaldi came in, there were 2 borderline masterpieces for me. There's one called The Husbands of River Song, which is a good fun episode. Greg Davies is in it, on Taskmaster.
Massive Greg Davies fan.
I love him, man. He's really funny in the episode. Twice Upon a Time was Peter Capaldi's regeneration story, and the bit that really, really convinced me that I think for me it could be one of, if not the greatest Christmas episode of anything, is certainly up there. Basically, they end up in World War One, and the trench in time gets frozen, and a soldier who's in a standoff in a trench in France. You probably know it.
What are your realised?
In a trench in France, and it's him facing off with a German guy, and it's, what's his name that writes, it was Mycroft and Sherlock and stuff, Mark Gatiss. He's playing this part, and then he gets taken out at a moment in time before he dies, and basically gets returned to his timeline without giving all the details and stuff, and then he's getting returned because he has to die there and then instead what actually happens is when the Christmas armistice happened in 1915 in World War One. Aye, and they do that and they enact it. It's honestly just brilliant. Like, it just is from start to finish. So amazing episode, lovely Christmas feels about it, big stakes because it's a regeneration episode, amazingly well acted. It's a small movie and it's a masterpiece.
Right, so try and guess what this one is.
Yeah.
The Road to the North Pole.
That's Family Guy?
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, cool.
One of the more modern Family Guy Christmas one. It was a 2-parter, but I'm only counting it as one. The story, Stewie tries to go to the mall to meet Santa and he doesn't get to meet him, so he gets pissed off and decides to go to what he thinks is the North Pole, where it's actually an amusement park, and then he splits away from Brian and tries to start hitchhiking to the North Pole. They get to the North Pole and they meet Santa, and then Santa, he's dying, he's on his deathbed, so Stewie and Brian be Santa for the night, and they get to one house and they end up fucking murdering a full family and tying the kid up. They've been in one house for like an hour and a half. I think it's one of the best Family Guy episodes. It's up there with them, there were few and stuff like that, but as far as family episodes, Christmas episodes go, that is definitely up there.
It's another example, because one thing with Family Guy, because I've not watched it all, I fell away from it eventually, but the thing that always edged it for me above like The Simpsons and South Park. What?
Edging so many times.
Edging. What's Christmas without a bit of edging? Is how good the music is.
It's brilliant.
They're just phenomenal at writing music, man, and I forget what the actual song's called in that, but it was brilliant.
Was it the one with the elves that are themselves?
Christmas time is killing us.
Christmas time is killing us.
Yeah, genius. Great shout, man.
Yippee Kayak.
It's on the list.
I had it on my honourable mentions. It was my 6th of 5.
Right, okay.
It's a fucking brilliant
Yeah,
episode.
for anyone that didn't get it, it's Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And absolutely brilliant. It's Die Hard in a Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode.
With Canadians.
With Canadians, yeah.
And it's more Christmassy than Die Hard.
I was broke, but now I'm back, It's Jake Paul at his finest. He's living his childhood dream. And
Gina with a flamethrower.
That's fantastic as well.
That is so good, man. So
Boyle.
Can you remember the aftershave?
The aftershave?
So the plot is he's going to buy a Christmas
stank. What is it?
Canyon stank.
Canyon stank.
He's going to buy a Christmas present. He tells Boyle it's for Amy, but it's actually for him, and they're trapped and the place has been robbed. It was a fucking great
episode.
I always feel so bad for him that Boyle got the moment with the Yippee Kayak on their buckets. He's
it's a really good bit of plot development for Jake though at
Oh,
that point, because he gives it away.
character.
Like, it's so good, man. I don't think it would have had the same punch
Early
if
Jake would
he'd
not
have said
have
it.
had that moment.
No. Let's go with Parks and Rec, Citizen Nope.
Cool.
So again, I know you've not watched it. It's about halfway through the series. Leslie, the main character, has decided she wants to run for office and stuff. She's been involved in a bit of a scandal, and all of her political advisors abandon her, and then her whole wee group of the main characters all get together.
All of our political advisors.
Leslie, all of her political advisors.
Sorry.
No, it was good. But basically they all band together and they want to do something nice for her because she's the most thoughtful person in the world. The thing about Parks and Rec that makes it stand out from other stuff for me is how sweet it is.
Yeah.
Like the characters, like the Office, obviously it's The Office and Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Good Place, Michael Schur.
Yeah.
And it's just got such a kind of caring heart to it that they all pure love each other, really. And this is them want to do something sweet, so they're trying to build a candy house for her, and
It's
like,
the
they make
replica
a
of
wee,
The Office.
yeah, and they make a wee marshmallow Ron Swanson, which is the best. Like, my God, if ever a marshmallow looked at a human. And it's just a brilliant wee episode, and then the whole present is that they're going to be her political advisors, and then it kicks off a season-long masterful run. It's so good.
It's
so good.
Fantastic.
I will
Great
get
choice.
it. I will get it. I have tried, and I keep falling away from it. I'm not the biggest Chris Pratt fan in the world, and
Just
struggle with man.
skip season
One.
and
You can tell me to skip things when you watch Breaking Bad.
Never mind. You don't need to say it.
You can tell him to do it when you've got a school bag.
Wow.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do. That wasn't the accent, but
It was a manly attempt.
Jesus,
I didn't want to go too over the
That
top,
was
to be honest.
I was close.
Was that
Right,
like
so,
a
swiftly-
correct?
That was
Swiftly
slightly, aye.
moving on. My next one is Time on Our Hands.
I've not seen this on your list, but I know.
No, I don't know.
It was Only Fools and Horses.
I was
So
never gonna get
they done a trilogy of Christmas specials, 1990 something, I can't remember what year it was. So there was Time on Our Hands, Sleepless in Peckham, and Hero and Villains. But Time on Our Hands is the episode where they eventually become millionaires. Cassandra's dad comes up for dinner, Christmas dinner, and not Cassandra, Raquel's dad, sorry,
Raquel's
comes
dad,
up for
aye.
Christmas dinner. He's down at the garage the next morning and he finds the watch and they sell it for £6.4 million. They become millionaires. Just such a good, wholesome episode. It's the end of an era. It's the whole bit where the two of them are fainting and
the auction.
Sotheby's.
Genius.
It's such a good episode, and it's rounding it all off. And we've watched these two struggle for years and years and years, and it is just two fucking local boys who have made it and made it good.
I think just because of the sheer amount of like bittersweet moments that have happened in that show, to just have like a wholehearted,
'Cause you're
this is
expecting
nothing
it.
but goodness.
You're expecting it to fall through at the last minute, and then it doesn't, and you get the payoff, and they're set for the rest of their lives. Well, so they think anyway. Until it gets a resurgence in later years. But yeah, Time on Our Hands in my top 5.
I don't think either of you will get this one. Anatomy Park. So this is a Rick and Morty episode. I know you just haven't watched that
Seen
at all.
bits of it, again, mainly
Nah.
from TikToks and stuff. And
You've brought a serious animated feel to the evening, which I'm quite
Yeah, I
impressed
don't know what it is. Just it
it's more
seems
a
to.
manga.
by. Hentai.
The problem that a lot of people have is the stuttery way that the characters talk, and apparently that can get annoying and pulls people out of it. But it's actually a really, really well written show. It's weird and funny and all the stuff that I really like in animated shows anyway. And it's great. And this episode in particular, it is a Christmas episode in the way that there's a couple of different like plot points going on. The main most of the meat of the episode is Morty being shrunk down to go into a homeless guy's body, where Rick and his partner have created a theme park inside this homeless guy.
If that does not scream Christmas.
The B story that's happening with the family, that's all about Christmas time, so that kind of like salvages it a wee bit into being a real Christmas episode. But it's really, really funny and really weird. It was season 1, and I think it was only like episode, I want to say it was like 4 or 5, so it was very early on. It just really sets the tone for the show. And it's just brilliant. I really like Rick and Morty. Who's next?
Family.
Next on my list, the episode is called Christmas Crackers.
Christmas crackers.
Christmas crackers. EastEnders?
By the way, there's some absolute classics.
My next one's Who Shot Phil? Christmas crackers. Is it a
You kick yourself here.
UK sitcom?
UK, you kick yourself here.
Is it only Phil's and Horses?
No,
I didn't watch the UK office, so I
Oh,
wouldn't
there's
kick
not?
myself.
Alright, okay.
it's only Fools.
That's what I said.
I thought you said it's at the UK office.
No, he
I
said
know,
that.
he
No,
answered
I
that.
thought you
Is it
said
only
it's
Fools?
It's only Fools.
Alright.
It's the first Christmas episode.
Is this when the dad comes back?
Yeah, Reg comes back, Grandad's still alive, him and Rodney are in the flat, and Rodney's raging that he's spending Christmas with his granddad. It's a really funny episode. It's all obviously about their dad being an idiot, and he comes back in and he fudges results to make Dale feel that he's not part of the family. It's just a brilliant episode from start to finish, and it really, like his Only Fools and Horses is one of my favourite programmes of all time, right? Endlessly rewatchable, and I think that's the episode that, and I've seen David Jason and Nicholas Lyndhurst both talking about it as well. That's the episode that guaranteed them going on to what they were going to become. And that's actually, I think it's a perfectly Christmas episode, really touching, easy to watch.
It's like no matter what, he's got his back, even when they think he's meant to
Exactly.
believe that they're not brothers, but he's always got his back. Like,
Exactly
that was a great moment. That was a really, really good episode, mate.
That was a good episode. You'll both get this one. It's Captain Latvia.
Yeah, another Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Fantastic Brooklyn
2 in your top
Nine-Nine
5 for Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
You said that
Of
earlier on, and soon you said I've got 2 for the same cat. I instantly thought Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, I didn't,
There's
because
so many great ones.
I always associate Brooklyn Nine-Nine so much more strongly with Halloween.
But just
Which,
because
by the
of
way, how
Halloween
did we
Heist.
not mention that?
No, the Halloween Heist.
But-
We didn't have a TV show segment.
True.
That'll be one.
We should have.
That makes perfect sense. Well done.
You didn't say that.
Listen, if you are just going to be absolutely
Reasonable.
correct, stone cold logic on this podcast, I don't know that we can continue it.
Do you know, I'd probably say that Captain Latvia is better than Yippee Kayak.
You reckon?
Just there's so many more memorable moments because it's all about Charles. It's when he's smashing all the coffee cups. He's like,
That bit's
I don't know. I have no
Genius.
idea how I'm doing it.
That is great. The bit where he shimmies his
Stuck to the
jeans off.
cars.
It's the eye contact.
Or even the
It's
bit
so
in the
funny.
nightclub as well. He opens his shop and he's like, "It's my musk."
Oh, I'm
Like
going to
that.
use my musk.
That's what I'm
It's a
saying.
very,
It's so
very
good,
episode,
man. It's a
definitely.
great episode.
What was the movie? Was it the Erika Hammer?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's fucking such a good episode.
It's even the fact they're coming up with a superhero called Captain Latvia. It's just brilliant.
It just speaks volumes to just how funny they are when it comes to writing.
Again, it has an amazing wholesome ending, but like, when Jane brings
Yeah.
a toy and it's a cop who's like, "I'm Officer Papa, I'm going to go to the farmer's market, you better have each Gouda." That was his favourite toy, was a toy of his dad. It was
It was
fucking
so
good.
perfect.
It
That
was so
maybe
nice, man.
speaks to us on a different level.
It's definitely got more of a touch. I think that's such a large part, because we flirted with it earlier on, saying what it is about Christmas films and Christmas stuff that makes it, and for me, well, yeah, wanting to feel Christmassy, but I think for it really to be lasting, it needs that level of being touching and actually wholesome, and that family feeling, what Christmas is all about, really. And so I'd say that as much as I love Yippee Kayak, I think Captain Latvia does a better job of that.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of what we've spoken about is the wholesome things that really make, because otherwise, like, if it wasn't set at Christmas and really wholesome, then Elf's just another Will Ferrell film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think that's really good. I don't know the name of this episode, right? But I'll give you a clue.
How to describe it?
I'll give you a clue. It's a lingerie department.
Father Ted.
Father Ted.
Cool.
The Christmas episode of Father Ted. He wins the Golden Cleric Award. How do you come up with it? That, like, a priest in Ireland wins the Golden Cleric Award for saving a bunch of priests from the embarrassment of being stuck in the lingerie department of a superstore.
That was fucking.
That's genius.
Nice.
I don't think it really needs to be too much more said about it. Father Ted, for me, one of the funniest programmes I've ever made, would definitely probably make it into my top 5 comedies. That episode, just masterful. When he does the bit where he opens the door and lets them jump out of the plane.
Okay. See, I was really, really young when Father Ted came out, and I probably would appreciate it a lot more now than I did as a kid. Obviously, I thought it was funny, like drink,
Aye.
sex, girls and all that. That was funny, and I remember I asked my mum to buy me an Ireland top, because Dougal wore an Ireland top to bed, and I asked her to buy me one just so I could wear it to bed, and she fucking done it to. But aye, that is a
Father Ted's
tremendous
amazing,
episode.
man. You should watch,
Such
like,
a good programme.
outside of that episode, the Dougal and his Ireland shirts just made me remember one of my funniest wee bits, and it just encapsulates why Father Ted was so good, was at one point when they obviously both sleep in the same bedroom, and Ted and Dougal go to bed, and then 2 seconds later Ted wakes up, and he puts the light on, and Dougal's like, oh, that was a great night's sleep that. He's as if he's been asleep for 9 hours.
It's fucking amazing.
Oh
so
man,
funny.
it's a masterpiece, and that's an amazing episode.
Tremendous.
So apologies for cutting across you there, man, but I thought if I had 2 I'd get one out of the way.
Go for it, that's right, mate. So my last one, I don't think it really got a name, but 2019, The Reunion. Something that I've mentioned already this evening. You can't play because you've seen it. You can see my screen.
Oh, of course.
Oh no.
Oh,
It's a TV show that I mentioned earlier on, and then come back in 2019 for a reunion. I don't really
Oh, only Fools and Horses.
Yeah, Only Fools and Horses.
Thank you.
It was Gavin and Stacey. Gavin and Stacey, The Reunion. It was a fucking great episode. I love Gavin and Stacey, and I cannot wait for this year's. It was just brilliant seeing them all back together. But apparently there's even more cast coming back together this year.
Have you got The Reunion ahead of the first Christmas special, Gavin and Stacey? Because I didn't make my list, but I was very, very close.
Aye.
And that first Christmas episode just edged it. Well, the special was great as well, but it's such a good programme.
It's edging daft, man.
Listen,
sometimes you mentioned.
Listen, there's lots of edging involved.
For people who don't know what edging is, Google it.
Don't
Google it.
Incognito mode.
Not when you're at work.
Incognito mode.
It's very NSFW.
Sorry.
So that point when Gavin's edging Smithy.
Bryn.
There's a man that definitely likes a bit of edging. Brilliant show all round. But so what was it about the special that really?
I don't know. I think it had just been so long since we were just kind of stuck with watching the repeats over and over again and stuff, and then it came out that we were coming back. It got leaked very early, obviously, but then it was such a good episode. Everybody, I remember we were at Leanne's mum and dad's that year for Christmas. We do Year About, and literally the living room was packed, and we all shut up. Leanne's mum brought out a plate of scran, and everybody just sat in silence, and we just watched that episode, and it was fucking great, man. Like, everybody's grown up. Neil the baby's now like a teenager and stuff, and it was Smithy's the way he changed his character for his new girlfriend and stuff, and everybody was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then there was a disaster of the Christmas dinner that I think every family goes through every year, but we all pretend that it's the most perfect, amazing dinner, but there's absolute fucking riots all throughout the day. And then like pudding, they lost all the puddings, and folk were sitting with like yogurts and clappers and stuff like that. And it's like, it doesn't really matter what the meal is or what the dessert is. The whole thing about it is you're with your family and everybody's just having a good time, enjoying each other's company.
That's the thing I always think Gavin and Stacey got perfect, right? It feels like your family. It feels like you and your pals.
You know them all.
Do you know what I mean? Can you see the same way that kind of the in-betweeners felt like what it felt like going to school? That feels like you and your best mates. Like when you watch Smithy and Gav, that they are together the same way we are. And I just think it's brilliant, man.
On your last one then, Pedro?
My last one, the episode is called, what's it called again? Actually it's not even called anything, it's just the Christmas specials. It's a 1-2 included as one, and it is the UK Office. You said you've not watched it. Hard for me to not consider it probably the best ever Christmas episode. There's an amazing payoff in it. It's like, obviously they only did 2 main series of The Office in the UK. It then obviously goes arms and legs in America, which was amazing. I loved the US version. But the Christmas specials, which they never done in the American version, just threw a perfect line under everything. Let you know you didn't need to know what was going to happen with these characters for the rest of their lives, but you knew where they were setting off and what was kind of likely ahead of them. It was brilliant. All the payoffs that you're waiting for, Tim and Dawn, Pam and Jim, is like that kind of pays off. Even David Brent kind of comes good. Like
he gets his own film, that means.
And the film was brilliant as well, by the way. But the Office Christmas specials are.
The thing that I particularly really enjoy about that one is the fact that because you get the David Brent happy resolution thing, I don't know if you felt the same way. I kind of felt like that was, I thought, although UK Office isn't all about like really happy endings or anything like that, so that will be the nice moment we get. And the Tim and Dawn thing will just be hinted at, and obviously she leaves, but then she sees the thing when they're in the car, and then she comes back, and you do get that moment. Fantastic.
So good, man.
So good.
And even although David Brent does kind of come good a little bit, right? Like, and because he's much more of a prick than Michael Slaughter is, right? But so David Brent, even during that, so off the back of them having been in the documentary, you do need to watch it at some point, man. It's so good. But they've done the documentary, and it's a couple of years later. He doesn't work with the company anymore. he's out trying to cash in on his fame, and it's at that kind of reality TV when it was all kicking off and stuff like that. So it's him and it's Howard for the Halifax adverts doing public appearances at nightclubs and stuff. Basically it does, right? And he's trying to make money off it and everything, and he's going on blind dates, and at one point he goes on a blind date and and his blind date's turning up with a chiffon scarf or whatever, right? But he's standing in the pub waiting for her, and then this rather rotund lady walks up towards him, and she goes, "Excuse me," and he's like, "Oh no," and she goes, "Do you know where the bathroom is?" And he goes, and she's looking at him weird, and he's like, "Oh God, thank God, I thought you were my blind date." It's genius, man. But aye, Office Christmas Special, masterpiece.
Apologies, I do have one more.
Yes.
I do have one more. So the episode is called The Santa Simulation.
Santa Simulation?
Yeah. Big Bang Theory.
Oh,
The
shit,
Santa
you didn't
Simulation?
mention
So
that
it's the
earlier.
episode of the Big Bang Theory where
Is this where they do like the Dungeons and Dragons?
So
Yes.
Sheldon doesn't like Christmas, and he starts to coax him in a game of Dungeons and Dragons to get to the reason as to why he doesn't like it. Because through the game they get to the end. The whole part or plot of the game is to save Santa from the evil elves, and he basically kills Santa. But you find out later on in the episode why. It's because it was the year his grandpa died. He asked Santa to bring his grandpa
Remember
back,
this
but
episode.
he got a box of Lincoln Logs, and his line was, "You can build a lot of things out of Lincoln Logs, but Pop Pop ain't one of them." And that fucking broke my heart.
The thing is that Sheldon, as a character, needed that badly.
He
By
humanises
that
so
point,
much.
because he needed humanising, he needed for it to work and for it to land at all, and to ever have any sort of emotional attachment whatsoever. You needed to be able to understand why these people put up with him.
Yeah.
Okay, the episode is called Christmas Guy.
Family Guy.
Family Guy. Yeah. So, Christmas
Animated
Guy.
Steve.
So this is the episode in the season where they'd killed off Brian. And so the Christmas episode starts with Vinny, who was like the replacement dog,
Hey,
taking
Stewie.
Stewie to see
Italian.
to see Santa, and sits in Santa's lap, and Santa starts trying to coax out what he wants, and then Stewie breaks down and says he wants Brian back. And then Vinny, even though realising if he gets Brian back, because they do it through time travel shenanigans like they always do in Family Guy, realising that'll mean that he never got to be a part of the family, but he just wants Stewie to be happy, so they go through the whole episode. And the entire episode is very, very nice, it's very funny as well at moments, but the most wholesome part of it is all that stuff. And then they get Brian back, and then immediately Brian's reminding them that he's a bit of a douche. But it's still just dead nice.
That's great.
So they killed Brian. Like, that was
Oh, man.
fucking hell. I remember like, the full internet just went wild.
The other thing, because they held out for a good 8 or 9 episodes or something like that.
You didn't think
So
he was coming back.
and it's so well done, and then when it's like
Because they played it as if they were never ever going
Aye,
to
was
come
he
back.
coming back?
He made the point he wanted, and then they introduced Vinny, and they were like, "This is the character."
because you not remember that even Seth MacFarlane did an interview, and I think it was in Kimmel or something, and said it was basically because it was too much time for him to record all of Brian and all of Stu and all of Peter and whatever else. And he even said there might be other characters going, and everybody's like, right, okay, well it's serious then. And then whoever, I don't even know if it was him that done Vinny's voice.
It wasn't.
But,
There was a guy that was in the surprise.
It was somebody else.
So I just can't-
Michael Imperioli.
Possibly, man, I couldn't tell
I
you.
was one of the Italian guys. One of the Italian Americans.
But yeah, no, I really liked that episode.
I agree, actually.
Again, it was very wholesome.
I'm slightly disappointed though at one thing, that now that we've finished our 5 TV episodes,
Is it nobody picked Friends?
I purposely didn't pick it because I thought one of you guys would.
That was the one I thought somebody else would have. I thought, oh, that's too obvious. I can't.
Which is what
I
I've
just
done.
think there's better Christmas episodes now.
I think that's a masterful Christmas
It's the
episode.
start.
that.
It's really good.
Definitely an honourable mention.
But there's also the other one from Friends that I considered was the one where I can't remember what the actual title's called, but
It's probably the one way or something.
Aye, probably. But it's the one where Chandler quits. Is that actually what the episode's called?
The one where Chandler quits.
Aye,
No, the one with Christmas in Tulsa.
Christmas in Tulsa. Aye, and he
turns down the second prettiest girl in Oklahoma.
So I thought I was considering that one, but I thought I don't want to have Friends because I'm sure the two of you.
I thought the Holiday Armadillo was a guarantee that
I
somebody
really
was
thought
going to
somebody was going to take that one.
And so now I actually kind of feel like it probably should be on the list, but it can't be.
Can be.
So it shows that this is how high stakes this sort of stuff
Let's narrow this down to a top 4 then, boys.
Whiskey of the week, guys. I'm starting to get to the point where I feel like we've called it Mates, Movies and Malts. It's Mates talking about movies and then adding a tiny wee bit in about whiskey really in it. We try and find some sort of tenuous link or a whiskey that's been in something that we've talked about. Sadly, nothing in my collection met those criteria. So what I've gone for is a pretty special whiskey that someone gave me as a Christmas present. That's someone being the pod mother herself. This is a 21-year-old. You tend to have a fondness for the older stuff, which is good, yeah. It's
For instance, you had a fondness for 21-year-olds.
No, it looks like it was made in about 1994.
Feels as if you'd got the key of the city in that box at one point.
Aye, that looks like the seats in like a Diamond Dolls type establishment.
What's that?
I don't know.
Oh, right.
Good effort. Like Spearmint Rhino, Platinum Lace, there are other establishments available. But wait,
Christ, there's no level.
Who's that?
that would have been funny. That was the little thing.
That's how technical we get on the podcast, folks. That was
that
the
little thing there.
I think it shuts
So
the
I'm assuming
box.
that's how it closes
Yes.
it over.
Right,
I
okay.
think that used to sit like that and now it dangles.
Right, okay.
Story of my life.
Oi.
Is this a certain whiskey?
Cheers.
Cheers. That'll never translate in a podcast. I get pretty strong shortbread off of that.
This guy's having a fucking stroke.
A bit of caramel off it.
Caramel.
It does smell sweet. So
I'll give you that one.
A good example.
it smells like a sweet bakery.
The whiskey tribe, there's a guy called Daniel Whittington on it, right? And the guy, he knows his shit, right?
Okay.
And he often talks about certain whiskies having almost a mint note, right? Now there's not a whiskey out there that smells like mint, but what he means is, you know how that feeling you get, right? See if you eat a mint 2 seconds after you've brushed your teeth and mouthwashed, almost that kind of cold, weird feeling you get in your mouth, right?
Okay.
Sting.
That's what he means by that. So you can smell a whiskey and you can get that similar sort of experience from it, right?
Okay. One thing I will say about this whiskey is it's not hitting me as hard as the one from last week. If you're watching 4 weeks from now,
It's definitely a sipping whiskey. So
So I've got a couple of the notes here.
it's a very warm whiskey. I do smell sweetness off it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do get a sweet smell
So
off it.
funnily enough, you say that, right? So the way that they describe it themselves, the Aberfeldy 21 is a sweet honeyed whiskey with lovely vanilla and oak character.
I understand what they mean by vanilla.
That's my point. That's my point, right? It's
She's
just,
a strong bitch.
mate, they all are. They all are.
It's probably my
That was quite nice.
It's my
Enjoyed that.
green spot still be my favourite so far.
You
but I'd
really
say
enjoyed
that's-
that.
That is a second. So the green spot was a lot sweeter, and I remember you saying because it was an
Mhm.
Irish whiskey, they are a lot sweeter.
Aye.
I'm assuming this isn't an Irish whiskey, is this?
No, it's a Scottish whiskey, aye. But
So-
again, it does definitely have those same sweet kind of
It's,
light notes.
it's good. I'd say it smells sweeter than it tastes. It
Mhm.
tastes a bit more bitter.
What we'll do one time is we will we'll definitely venture into some smokier whiskies and stuff like that eventually, right?
Smoking in the
What we
whiskey.
probably won't do is put it into the blend.
That's fair.
Well, we'll see what happens. Who knows? This is an adventurous pod. But the whole point, as it said, is not to be able to smell a whiskey and immediately, oh, that smells exactly like XY tonics, tea cakes, and whatever else, right? It's just if you can start to pick out things, because if you can pick them out with your nose, you can eventually start to pick out the flavours,
Okay.
and that's when you don't just get whiskey notes. Do you know what I mean? And once you get past that, that's why you actually start to enjoy it. Do you
Right,
know what I
okay.
mean? So far, we've had a Balblair 18-year-old.
Okay.
We've had the Green Spot, we've had the Speyburn 18, we've had the Johnny Walker White Walker Extravaganza.
Nice
Look at
whiskey.
that.
Oh yeah. That's a sipping bottle. The question is, if you could spend a Christmas day with any family from a Christmas movie, a Christmas TV show, what family are you choosing?
I basically did exactly what Stefan said there a minute ago. I went, well, do you know what, I'm going to be part of the family that you don't know what the dad does, but look at that house and they go to France from America, which is the equivalent of us going to fucking Canada or whatever for Christmas. And I went McAllister's. I just thought, I
So-
want to be a rich kid.
The mum is a designer, that's why there's hundreds of mannequins all over the place, and I can't remember what the dad does. He does have another good job.
Do you remember
It's-
the theory is that he was
he's a drug dealer.
significantly high up in the bloody the Escobar food chain.
It's explained in
Okay, I've never read this one.
Oh, have you not? Aye. So
Aye.
the whole thing is, how can they afford to take 14 people away to France and stuff
He's,
like that? But
he's been a mule and all that.
so the mum is a designer, she's a fashion designer, and the
Okay.
dad, he has got a really good
To be fair,
office job.
they're not the only adults that are going.
Oh, but they're the ones that are paying for
They
it.
pay for it, but Frank and all
says,
that.
like, your dad's paying good money for me, you
Aye.
better not ruin this holiday, you sour
Oh
puss.
shit, missed that.
But he's got, it's explained in the novel, so the film's based off the back of a novel.
Oh,
It's explained.
was it a novel?
There's a book that
Oh, I didn't read that, man.
Home Alone's based on, and it's explained in that what his parents actually do for a living.
Fair.
I went with one of the ones that's on my list, and I would love to spend Christmas with the Griswolds.
It was close for me as well, man.
I think it would be absolutely fucking chaos. It would be a Christmas you would never ever forget, and you don't need to be one of the main characters to be a part of at that Christmas table.
Yeah, I get you.
So Griswold went with me, and we would love to know what your guys' thoughts are on that as well. If you could spend Christmas with any fictional family, TV show, you want to spend it with the Dunphys, which I think also would have been amazing as well.
Yeah, that's a good choice too.
But yeah, let us know what you think as well.
Love that.
And I think that's just going to wrap us up this week. So
Thanks.
thank you. Thanks, boys. That was really good.
Love that.
Thank you everybody out there who's tuned in this week.
Yeah.
Thank you for spending some of your Christmas time with us. We really do appreciate it.
Merry
We
Christmas.
hope you and all your family have a wonderful time. Please follow us on all of the socials, and anything else you want to talk about, drop us a wee email at matesmoviesandmalts@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Have a good Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.